नमस्ते दोस्तों, स्मार्ट माइंड्स ट्यूटोरियल्स में आपका स्वागत है। आइए आज कुछ नया सीखें।
So we will cover all the theorems of pair of straight lines in this class. So the first important theorem is cos theta theorem. If theta is the acute angle between the lines represented by ax square plus 2hxy plus by square equals to 0, then show that cos theta equals to mod a plus by root over a minus b whole square plus 4h square. Now let us write, let ax square plus 2hxy plus by square is equal to 0 represent the lines. So this ax square plus 2hxy plus by square is the pair of straight lines. Okay, so we will show that it is a combination of two straight lines. So it represents the lines. What are the two lines? L1x plus m1y is equal to 0, equation number 1. L2x plus m2y is equal to 0, equation number 2. Now these are two lines. We need to show that if this is theta, then we have to show this. Cos theta is equal to mod a plus b by root over a minus b whole square plus 4h square. Let us take this as origin. This is line number 1 and this is line number 2. Okay. So now this pair of straight lines ax square plus 2hxy plus by square is written as the product of these two lines L1x plus m1y into L2x plus m2y. Now let us multiply. How to multiply two binomials? This into this, this into this, this into this, this into this. So L1 L2 x square plus L1 m2 xy plus L2 m1 xy plus m1 m2 y square. Now from these two we can take xy common. So L1 L2 x square plus if I take xy common L1 m2 plus L2 m1 into xy plus m1 m2 y square. Okay, on the left hand side you have ax square plus 2hxy plus by square. Now comparing on both sides. So if you compare on both sides, you will get a is equal to L1 L2, 2h is equal to L1 M2 plus L2 M1, b is equal to M1 M2. Yes or not? Coefficient of x square on left hand side is a. Coefficient of x square on right hand side is L1 L2. So that's why a is equal to L1 L2. Then coefficient of xy on left hand side is 2h. Coefficient of xy on right hand side is L1 M2 plus L2 M1. Same way, y square coefficient on both LHS and RHS is b and M1 M2. So that's why we are equating them. Okay. After you get a, 2h and b, we will take if theta is the angle between the lines 1 and 2, then what is cos theta formula? Mod a1 a2 plus b1 b2 by root over a1 square plus b1 square root over a2 square plus b2 square. This is the formula for angle between the lines. Okay, always note, see, in most of the problems, nearly 4 to 5 theorems, till here it is the same. Okay, so till here you practice perfectly. And after this, it will vary from problem to problem. Now we got cos theta formula. Now in the place of a1 and a2, let us substitute L1 and L2. And in the place of b1, b2, let us substitute m1, m2. So that is mod L1, L2 plus m1, m2 by root over L1 square plus m1 square root over L2 square plus m2 square. Okay. Now that is mod L1, L2 plus m1, m2. In the denominator, two different square roots are there. We can put them in a single root. So L1 square plus M1 square into L2 square plus M2 square. So that is mod L1 L2 plus M1 M2 by square root of. Now multiply the brackets. How to multiply two binomials? Same way. This into this, this into this, this into this, this into this. So L1 square L2 square plus L1 square M2 square plus L2 square M1 square plus M1 square M2 square. Now this how can I write? That is mod. Numerator I am not changing. Now in the denominator you see L1 square L2 square we can write L1 L2 whole square. L1 square M2 square we can write L1 M2 whole square. The same way L2 M1 whole square. The same way M1 M2 whole square. Now see, we have the values of L1, L2, M1, M2. But we don't know what is the value of L1, M2 and L2, M1 individually. We know what is L1, M2 plus L2, M1. But we don't know what is L1, M2 and L2, M1 separately. Okay. So, but then here it is in the form of A square plus B square. So we have a formula. A square plus B square is A plus B whole square minus 2AB. This formula I'm going to use now. So let us see how I'm going to apply that. So that is mod L1 L2 plus M1 M2 by root over L1 L2 square plus in the place of this L1 M2 square plus L2 M1 square. See, in this formula, in the place of A, I will take L1 M2. In the place of B, I will take L2 M1. So how will it become? L1 M2 plus L2 M1 whole square minus 2AB. So minus 2 L1 L2 M1 M2. And the last term I will write as it is, M1 M2 whole square. Don't forget this. Don't forget this last step. Okay. Now we have all the values. We have L1, L2, M1, M2. L1, M2 plus L2, M1 also we have. Okay. Now just substituting. Mod A plus B by root over. What is L1, L2? A square. What is L2? L1, M2 plus L2, M1? 2H whole square. Minus 2. What is L1, L2? A. What is M1, M2? B. Plus what is M1, M2 again? B square. Okay, is it clear to you? Now I am rearranging the terms here. So root over A square minus 2AB plus B square plus 4H square. So that is equal to mod A plus B by root over. Now you see what is A square minus 2AB plus B square? It is the formula of A minus B whole square plus 4H square. So finally you can conclude, therefore cos theta is equal to mod A plus B by root over A minus B whole square plus 4H square, hence proved. Now let us take the next theorem. This is also very, very important. Show that the product of the perpendicular distances from a point alpha comma beta to the pair of straight lines ax square plus 2hxy plus by square equals to 0 is mod a alpha square plus 2h alpha beta plus b beta square by under root a minus b whole square plus 4h square. Okay, again we proceed the same way. First you need to draw a figure. See, this is one line. This is another line. There is a point in between. Now this is a perpendicular from origin to this line. And this is another perpendicular from origin to this line. Okay. This perpendicular, it would be better if you draw it inside. Like this. Okay. Now this is the point alpha comma beta. And this is first line. And this is second line. Again we proceed the same way. Let ax square plus 2hxy plus by square represents two lines, 1 and 2. What are those two lines? Let us write down. L1x plus M1y is equal to 0. Equation number 1. L2x plus M2y is equal to 0. Equation number 2. Okay, now what is the combined equation? The combined equation of equation number 1 and 2 is ax square plus 2hxy plus by square is equal to L1x plus M1y into L2x plus M2y. Multiply these two brackets the same way, this into this, this into this, this into this, this into this. So L1 L2 x square plus L1 M2 xy plus L2 M1 xy plus M1 M2 y square. Now again we will take xy common. So first term we will write as it is. From these two terms we will take xy common. So L1 M2 plus L2 M1 into xy plus M1 M2 y square. Okay. Now comparing on both sides. If you compare on both sides, you will get A is equal to L1 L2, 2H is equal to L1 M2 plus L2 M1, and B is equal to L1 M1 M2. Now after this, we need to find product of perpendicular distances. See, once look at the figure and try to understand what we have to do. See, this is one perpendicular distance. This is another perpendicular distance. Find these two distances individually and then multiply them because it said product of the perpendicular distances. First find perpendicular distances, then multiply them. Okay. So, let us continue with that part. So the length of the perpendicular from alpha comma beta to the line 1 is, what is length of the perpendicular formula? Ax1 plus by1 plus c by root a square plus b square. Okay, always remember this formula. It is very important. That is equal to, now a is L1, x1 is alpha, plus b is m1, y1 is beta. There is no constant, so 0, by root over L1 square plus M1 square. So this is mod L1 alpha plus M1 beta by root over L1 square plus M1 square. Okay, this is one perpendicular distance. Now the other one. Now the length of the perpendicular, same way we have to proceed. From alpha comma beta to the line 2 is, again we use the same formula, ax1 plus by1 plus c by root a square plus b square. But in the second line, a and b are L2 and M2. So that is L2 alpha plus M2 beta. C is anyhow 0. I am not writing 0 by root a square plus b square. Understood? So we got one perpendicular distance. This is the other perpendicular distance. Now we have to multiply both of them. So let us write what is the product of the perpendicular distances. This is what they are asking us in the question. So first we found perpendicular distances, then we are multiplying them. So product of perpendicular distances is mod L1 alpha plus M1 beta by root L1 square plus M1 square into mod L2 alpha plus M2 beta by root L2 square plus M2 square. Okay. Now, this is a product of two terms, right? So, both the numerators we can multiply. So, how can you multiply this into this, this into this, this into this, this into this? So, that is L1 L2 alpha square plus L1 M2 alpha beta plus L2 M1 alpha beta plus M1 M2 beta square by root over. Now let us multiply these two terms also. Denominator two terms also we will multiply. Same way how we multiplied the numerator. So L1 square L2 square plus L1 square M2 square plus L2 square M1 square plus M1 square M2 square. See, the denominator part we will proceed same as the cos theta theorem. Okay. Now for the numerator part, you see L1 L2 alpha square plus from these two terms we can take alpha beta common. So L1 M2 plus L2 M1 into alpha beta plus M1 M2 beta square by root over. Again, same steps we have to copy from cos theta. So L1 square L2 square we can write L1 L2 whole square plus L1 M2 whole square plus L2 M1 whole square plus M1 M2 whole square. Now for this part we will use which formula? A plus B whole square can be written as, A square plus B square can be written as A plus B whole square minus 2AB. This formula I am going to use in the next step. And in the numerator, I will substitute the values. We have L1, L2 value. We have L1, M2 plus L2, M1 value. We have M1, M2 value. I am substituting for the numerator part. So that is A alpha square plus 2H alpha beta plus B beta square by root over. Now L1, L2 whole square we are writing as it is. Now you see the last step again. For this part, we are applying A square plus B square formula. So what is A L1 M2 plus L2 M1 whole square minus 2AB. So 2L1 L2 M1 M2 plus M1 M2 whole square. Understood. Now for the new denominator also we will substitute the values. Numerator I am copying as it is. Now in the denominator, now I will not substitute the values. So let us substitute here itself. So L1, L2 is A square plus 2H whole square minus 2AB plus B square. Okay, that is mod A alpha square plus 2H alpha beta plus B beta square by root over. How can I rearrange the terms? A square minus 2AB plus B square plus 4H square. So that is mod A alpha square plus 2H alpha beta plus B beta square by root over. Now what is this part? A square minus 2AB plus B square. A minus B whole square plus 4H square. Hence proved. Okay, this is almost similar to the last one. Now let's take the next theorem. Show that the product of the perpendicular distances from the origin to the pair of straight lines represented by ax square plus 2hxy plus by square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0 is mod c by root over a minus b whole square plus 4h square. So like if you have seen the first and second question, the pair of straight lines were only ax square plus 2hxy plus by square. So we were taking the lines as L1x plus M1y, L2x plus M2y. But here the full big equation is given. So now let us see how to take the line equations. So let ax square plus 2hxy plus by square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0 represents two lines. What are the two lines? Here we will take L1x plus M1y plus N1. We are taking constant here. That is the only difference. And L2x plus M2y plus N2 is equal to 0. This is equation number 2. When do we take N1 and N2? If this equation contains 6 terms. Like full big equation is given along with the constant. Understood? Like x coefficient, y coefficient, constant is given. Then we take L1x plus M1y plus N1 is equal to 0. L2x plus M2y plus N2 is equal to 0. Now you see, how do we write the combined equation? So ax square plus 2hxy plus by square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to L1x plus M1y plus N1 into L2x plus M2y plus N2. Let us multiply these two brackets. First term multiply with all the three terms. Then second term multiply with all the three terms. Then third term multiply with all the three terms. Understood? This is the way of multiplication. So now that is L1 L2 x square plus L1 M2 xy plus L1 N2 x plus L2 M1 xy plus M1 M2 y square plus M1 N2 y plus L2 N1 x plus M2 N1 y plus N1 N2. Okay. So now L1 L2 into x square plus from these two terms I will take xy common. L1 M2 plus L2 M1 into xy plus M1 M2 y square. Now from these two terms we will take x common. L1 N2 plus L2 N1 into x. From these two terms we will take y common. M1 N2 plus M2 N1 into y plus N1 N2. Now comparing on both sides. If you compare on both sides, what do you get? A is equal to L1 L2. 2H is equal to L1 M2 plus L2 M1. B is equal to M1 M2. 2G is equal to L1 N2 plus L2 N1. 2F is equal to M1 N2 plus M2 N1. C is equal to N1 N2. Okay, after comparing, like the second theorem, again we will take perpendicular distances. Okay, so the perpendicular distance from the origin to the straight line 1 is mod ax1 plus by1 plus c by root a square plus b square. And origin means the point is 0, 0. So we take a as L1, x1 as a as L1, x1 as 0, b as M1, y1 as 0, c as N1 by root over L1 square plus M1 square. So 0 into anything is 0. So that will be mod N1 by root over L1 square plus M1 square. Now again we will find perpendicular distance from the origin to the straight line 2 is mod ax1 plus by1 plus c by root a square plus b square. Same formula, but a, b, c is L1, M1, N1. X1, Y1 is 0, 0. So L2 into 0 plus M2 into 0 plus N2 by root over L2 square plus M2 square. So that is mod N2 by root over L2 square plus M2 square. Now we need to find out product of perpendicular distances. So let us write product of perpendicular distances. That is N1 by root over L1 square plus M1 square into N2 by root over L2 square plus M2 square. So that is N1, N2. This is in modulus by, this is in mod, right? So by root over, we will put these both terms in a single root. L1 square plus M1 square into L2 square plus M2 square. So we already know how to multiply two binomials. So that is mod N1, N2 by root over L1 square, L2 square plus L1 square, M2 square plus L2 square, M1 square plus M1 square, M2 square. That is mod N1, N2 by square root of L1, L2 whole square plus L1, M2 whole square plus L2, M1 whole square plus N1, N2 whole square. Now again these two we cannot write it any form. So we are using the formula a square plus b square. That is a plus b whole square minus 2ab. So that is mod N1, N2 by root over L1, L2 whole square. Otherwise, yeah, L1, L2 whole square plus. Now we will apply a plus b whole square. L1, M2 plus L2, M1 whole square minus 2 L1, L2, M1, M2 plus N1, N2 whole square. Now we can apply the values. So N1, N2 is C by root over a square plus 2h whole square minus 2ab plus b square. This is M1, M2. M1, M2 whole square. So this is b square. So that is mod c by root over. See here, a square we can arrange this, rearrange this. A square minus 2ab plus b square plus 4h square. So that is equal to mod c by root over a minus b whole square plus 4h square. Hence proved. Now let us take the next question. Area of triangle theorem, very, very important. Show that the area of the triangle formed by the lines ax square plus 2hxy plus by square equals to 0 and lx plus my plus n is equal to 0 is n square root h square minus ab by mod am square minus 2hlm plus bl square. So for this you need to draw this figure. Draw coordinate axis. Then draw a line and then join origin to this line. This is origin. This is line number 1, line number 2, and this is line number 3. Where 1 and 3 are meeting, that is point A. And where 2 and 3 are meeting, that is point B. So this triangle area we have to find out. Triangle OAB. Okay. So first let us write ax square plus 2hxy plus by square is equal to 0 represents two lines L1x plus M1y is equal to 0. This is equation number 1. L2x plus M2y is equal to 0. Equation number 2. Now what is the combined equation? The combined equation of equation number 1 and 2 is ax square plus 2hxy plus by square is equal to L1x plus M1y into L2x plus M2y. Multiply these two brackets. How do you multiply? This into this, this into this, this into this, this into this. So that is L1 L2 x square plus L1 M2 xy plus L2 M1 xy plus M1 M2 y square. Now from this, if we take xy common from these two terms, we will get L1 L2 x square plus L1 M2 plus L2 M1 into xy plus M1 M2 y square. Comparing on both sides. So you will get A is equal to L1 L2. 2H is equal to L1 M2 plus L2 M1. B is equal to M1 M2. Okay, now after this, let us write the given line. Let the given line be Lx plus My plus N is equal to 0. This is equation number 3. Now if you look at the figure, clearly origin is the point of intersection of 1 and 2. Look at the figure. Origin is the point of intersection of line 1 and line 2. Yes or no? Can you see 1 and 2 meet at point O? So that means origin O is the point of intersection of lines 1 and 2. Therefore, O is equal to 0, 0. Now you see, how do you get A? Look at the figure again. How do you get A? If you solve equation number 1 and 3, we will get A. Yes or no? Because A is the point of intersection of 1 and 3. So let A be the point of intersection of 1 and 3. Now we use cross multiplication method. From equation number 1, again you look at equation number 1. I'm using cross multiplication method. First y coefficient, then constant, then x coefficient, then again y coefficient. Now in the third equation, coefficient of y is m, constant is n, coefficient of x is L, again y coefficient is m. Okay, here we will write x, y, 1. Now cross multiply. So what do you get? X by m1 n minus 0 is equal to y by 0 minus L1 n is equal to 1 by L1 m minus LM1. Okay. Now if you equate first and last and second and last, what do you get? X is equal to m1 n by L1 m minus LM1. And what is y? Minus n L1 n by L1 m minus LM1. So what is point A? A point is, first you write x coordinate. Then we will write y coordinate. Comma minus L1 n by L1 m minus LM1. So this way you got A point. The same way we will find out B point. Again look at the figure. What is B? B is the point of intersection of line 2 and line 3. Yes or no? 2 and 3, line number 2 and 3 are intersecting at point B. That means we can say that B is the point of intersection of lines 2 and 3. Now again we use cross multiplication method. That means solving 2 and 3 you will get B point. So we use cross multiplication method here. From second equation, what is y coefficient? M2. Constant is 0. X coefficient is L2. Again y coefficient is M2. Then from third equation, what is third equation? Lx plus My plus N, no. So M, N, L, M. Cross multiply. Here you write X, here Y, and here 1. So X by M2N minus 0. We are cross multiplying. Y by 0 minus L2N is equal to 1 by L2M minus LM2. So you equate first and last, second and last. So you will get X as M2N by L2M minus LM2. Y as minus L2N by L2M minus LM2. So therefore, you get B point. B point is first you write X term. M2N. M2N by L2M minus LM2, comma, minus L2N by L2M minus LM2. This is point B. So you got point O, point A, point B. Okay. Now we need to find out area of triangle. So first let me write the vertices. What vertices did we get? Vertices of triangle are O 0, 0, A M1N by L1M minus LM1, comma, minus L1N by L1M minus LM1. Then what is point B? M2N by L2M minus LM2 minus L2N by L2M minus LM2. Now let us take this as x1, y1, this as x2, y2. So how do you get area of triangle? What is area of triangle formula when one vertex is origin? It is mod x1, y2 minus x2, y1. This is the formula for area of triangle when one vertex is origin. Understood? Now you see how I am simplifying. That is equal to mod. Now in the place of x1, we will write m1n by L1m minus LM1 into what is y2? Minus L2n by L2m minus LM2 minus what is x2? X2 is m2n by L2m minus LM2 into what is y1? Minus L1n by L1m minus LM1. Okay. Now here you have minus, here you have minus. Minus into minus will become plus. So I'm writing this second term first because I always want first term positive. So that is equal to mod. How can we write this now? Tell me. L1 M2 N square. L1 M2 N square minus, now first term is negative. So L2 M1 N square. L2 M1 N square by denominators are same in both, right? L1M minus LM1 into L2M minus LM2. This is the common denominator for both the terms. Now, if I take N square common, N square I am taking outside, you are getting L1M2 minus L2M1 by, here let us multiply this into this, this into this, this into this, this into this. L1 L2 M square minus L1 M2 LM minus L2 M1 LM plus M1 M2 L square. Okay. But here you can see in the numerator you have L1 M2 minus L2 M1. We have the value for L1 M2 plus L2 M1. We know that L1 M2 plus L2 M1 is 2H. Understood? Now we will use one formula here. So what is that formula? A minus B is equal to root over A plus B whole square minus 4AB. So that is equal to N square mod. In the place of A you take L1 M2. In the place of B you take L2 M1. So L1 M2 plus L2 M1 whole square minus 4 L1 L2 M1 M2. This is under root by. Now L1 L2 is, let us write this again, L1 L2 M square minus, from these two terms I will take minus common, then LM also common. L1 M2 plus L2 M1 into LM plus M1 M2 L square. Now we can substitute the values. We know what is L1 M2 plus L2 M1. We know what is L1 L2 M1 M2. Now direct substitution. N square into, now because you have square root, no need of modulus. 2h whole square minus 4ab by mod am square minus 2hlm plus bl square. Okay, that is n square into square root of 4h square minus 4ab by mod am square minus 2hlm plus bl square. From the numerator, from the square root, I will take 4 common. If I take 4 common, square root of 4 is 2. Understood? So that is 1 minute. Here in the formula, I have taken mod x1 y2 minus x2 y1. It is actually half mod x1 y2 minus x2 y1. So everywhere you will get half. Half you will get, okay, everywhere. Here 2, then here 2, then here 2, then here 2. Now if I take 4 common, we will get 2 outside. N square into root 4 is 2. 2 root h square minus ab by mod am square minus 2hlm plus bl square. Here you have 2 already. 2 to get cancelled. That is n square root h square minus ab by mod am square minus 2hlm plus bl square. Hence proved. Now let us take the next theorem from pair of straight lines. If the equation ax square plus 2hxy plus by square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equals to 0 represents two parallel lines, then prove that number 1, h square is equal to ab, number 2, af square is equal to bg square, number 3, distance between parallel lines is equal to 2 root g square minus ab ac by a into a plus b, or that is also equal to 2 root f square minus bc by b into a plus b. So here parallel lines are given. What does it mean? Parallel lines means, always remember, for parallel lines, x and y terms are same. The difference comes only by the constant. So let s is equal to 0 represent the lines. Lx plus my plus n1 is equal to 0. Equation number 1. And for the second equation also, x and y terms will be the same. Lx plus my, only the constant changes. So always remember, for parallel lines, x and y terms will be the same. Constant will change. Okay. Now therefore, ax square plus 2hxy plus by square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to product of these two lines, Lx plus my plus n1 into Lx plus my plus n2. Now we will multiply these two brackets. First term multiply with the whole bracket, like all the 3 terms. Then second term you multiply with all the 3 terms. Then third term you multiply with all the 3 terms. This is the way we multiply two brackets. Okay, so Lx into Lx is L square x square plus Lm xy plus Ln2x plus Lm xy plus m square y square plus mn2y plus ln1x plus mn1y plus n1n2. Now we will take xy terms. These two terms we will add. Okay, so that is equal to L square x square plus 2 lmxy plus m square y square. Now we will take x terms common. See here, here you have one x term and here you have one x term. From these two terms we will take x common. So you will get ln2 plus ln1 into x. The same way if we take y terms common, mn2 plus mn1 into y1. At last we will write the constants. Now comparing on both sides. If you compare on both sides, you will get L square is equal to A, 2lm is equal to 2h, m square is equal to b. Then ln1 plus ln2 is equal to 2g. Then mn2 plus mn1 is equal to 2f. Then n1 n2 is equal to c. And here if we cancel this 2 and 2, you will get h is equal to lm. H is equal to lm you will get. Now from here, if I take L common, we will get L into N1, N2 is equal to 2G. And from here, if I take M common, M into N1 plus N2 is equal to 2F. So if I want N1 plus N2 from here, we will get 2G by L. And from here, if we find N1 plus N2, we will get 2F by M. Okay. After comparing, we will take the first bit. What is the first bit? What do we have to prove in the first bit? H square is equal to AB. So let us take H square. What is H square? H is LM. LM whole square. So that is L square M square. L square is A, M square is B. Therefore, H square is equal to AB. With this, first bit is proved. Now we will take the second bit. For second bit, let us consider 2g by 2f. What is 2g value? L into n1 plus n2. By what is 2f value? M into n1 plus n2. n1 plus n2 cancel. Here 2 to cancel. If you cross multiply, you will get gm is equal to lf. Okay, if I square on both sides, we will get g square m square is equal to L square f square. Now m square is b. G square is equal to L square is a f square. Or we can write a f square is equal to bg square. With this second bit is also proved. Now we will take the third bit. What is the third bit? Distance between parallel lines. Now this is very important formula. Distance between parallel lines. Can anyone tell me what is distance between parallel lines formula? That is mod C1 minus C2 by root over A square plus B square. Always remember this formula. They will give you two lines and they will ask you to find distance between parallel lines as a B.Sc also. Okay, so be careful. You have to remember this formula. So that is equal to C1, C2 means constants. And here we have taken constants as N1, N2. So C1 we will write as N1 minus N2 by root over L square plus M square. Now in the previous theorems, we have taken a formula. What was that? A minus B is equal to under root A plus B whole square minus 4AB. This formula we will use when the expression is given in terms of A minus B and we want in terms of A plus B. So that is equal to under root N1 plus N2 whole square minus 4 N1 N2 by root over L square is A and M square is B. Okay. Now that is equal to under root. Now what is N1 plus N2? If you look back here, What is n1 plus n2 we got from here? 2g by L. So we will use this value here. 2g by L whole square minus 4. What is n1, n2? n1, n2 is C. Yes, can you see this? n1, n2 is C by A plus B. So here I am writing within a single root. So that is under root 4g square by L square minus 4c by A plus B. Now instead of L square, we can write A also, no? Because L square is A. Now I will cross multiply. So we will get under root 4g square minus 4ac by A into A plus B. Now 4 if I take common, what do we get? If I take 4 common, outside you will get 2. 2 root over g square minus ac by A into A plus B. Okay, so this is the first part of the third bit. Now the same way we will take the second part. So again we will take the same formula. What is the formula? Distance between parallel lines. Distance between parallel lines is, what is the formula? Mod C1 minus C2 by root A square plus B square. So that is mod N1 minus N2 by root L square plus M square. That is again under root N1 plus N2 whole square minus 4N1 N2 by root A plus B. Now here N1 plus N2, what will I take? I will take this value as N1 plus N2 now. That is 2F by M. So root over 2F by M whole square minus 4. What is N1, N2? N1, N2 is C by root over A plus B. Now I will take the LCM here. So what do we get? That is square root of 4F square by M square. M square minus 4C by A plus B. Okay, that is 4F square by M square. We can write it as B. B minus 4C by A plus B. If I take 4 common, we will get 2 outside. And also I will take LCM inside. 4 square minus F square minus BC. BC by B into A plus B. This is the second part. With this we can say hence proved.